Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this and talk about this rookie of the year. Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama. On paper, they actually look very, very similar. I mean, one looks a little bit better than the other, but we'll talk about why in a second. Chet so far this season, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 56% from the field, 43% from three, on 4 attempts a game, mind you, 2.5 blocks. Wemby this season, 19 points a game, 7 rebounds, 43% from the field, 26% from three, 5 attempts. I didn't write down Wemby's blocks. I want to say it was also about little over 2 a game, which Wemby's numbers, if you don't know, for the defensive side of the ball are crazy because people aren't attempting as many shots at the rim when he's on the court. If you go to NBA.com, look at the tracking numbers. He's up there in at least over 2 blocks a game with some of the elite defenders like Chet, Wemby. Rudy is over 2 a game as well, I want to say again this year. But the crazy thing about Wemby is, in terms of field goals defended, or the amount, or in terms of the amount of times that offensive players have tried to shoot the ball at the rim, whether it be a layup, whatever, at the rim, and he's on the floor, is like the least amount in terms of guys who's defended X amount of shots. Like, my point is, offensive players don't go to the basket when Wemby's on the floor, and he's still getting 2 blocks a game, which is absolutely insane. Chet Holmgren right now, though, I want to focus more so on Chet. The big conversation about Wemby is right now, and is that you look at his percentages, they don't look good. You can check on a night to night basis. He might have a night where he's 2 for 12, 1 for 5 from three. His shooting splits aren't great. I think part of that is a major part of that is Devin Vassell's been in and out of the lineup for the Spurs. Unfortunately, I have Devin Vassell on fantasy, so I know that pain firsthand. When Vassell is in, the Spurs just simply look better. His playmaking is good. The offense that Vassell also brings in terms of scoring alleviates some of the pressure from Wemby. But the biggest difference to me in the numbers that you're seeing between Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama is Chet Holmgren was not asked to be the number one option on his team. Victor Wembanyama is immediately being asked to be the number one option, and you're seeing a lot of growing pains with that. When Chet's on the floor for the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's you got 1 or 2 dribbles to make your move, get to your spot, or we're deliberately running this play for you in your spot. Victor Wembanyama is getting a lot more freedom on the San Antonio Spurs, which, to be honest, surprises me a little bit. I'm not seeing, at least not initially, and like I get it, the team is young, they're dealing with injuries, but at least initially, I'm not seeing at all times the Greg Popovich offense that I thought I was going to see. Wemby has a lot of freedom for at good or bad. There are times when Wemby has the ability to he's just dribbling 5, 6 dribbles to trying to create his own shot. Sometimes a bad shot goes up and doesn't go in. Sometimes an interesting looking shot goes up and it does go in. It's been hit or miss, I think, for Victor Wembanyama. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon or anything like that. I'm not calling him a bust or anything like that. I think at the very least, and I want to make this very clear, while yes, I think offensively he is struggling, Victor Wembanyama on the defensive side of the ball has been elite so far this season. Both Victor and Chet have been elite so far this season on the defensive side of the ball. Chet, on the other hand, his numbers look great offensively, and he looks great offensively because, like I said, he's not asked to be the number one option on this team. He's not being asked to carry the offensive load for this team. He is playing with an all NBA caliber guard, an all-star guard. Sorry if you see me look up, I'm watching my Eagles game as I do this with y'all, and the Bills just scored. Um, but Chet in the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's just all around a better team. And also shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder just as a unit because they look really, really good right now. And Chet's a big part of that. His defense is a really, 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 really big part of what they got going on. They're second in the West. They're 11-5 right now. They're top 5 in offense, top 10 in defense. And like I said, Chet's playing and has the luxury of playing with an all NBA caliber guard and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who at the time of recording, believe it or not, is leading the league in the steals per game to a game. He's number 1 in the NBA in contested threes a game. He's top 10 in deflections. I've been very surprised and very pleased with the level of defense that SGA is bringing to the court. I'm not saying that SGA has been a bad defender in years past. I just don't feel like he brought this level of intensity that we're seeing this year on the defensive end of the ball. I don't feel like I saw that in years past from him. So shout out to him for playing better defense. And just all around, the Thunder are, to me, a better team. Hopefully Jalen Williams gets better soon. He's out with a left hip strain right now. But before that, it was 17 a game from him. This team has been looking great. They were winning 6 straight before they lost to my Sixers just the other night. Um, the Thunder look great. In terms of the rookie of the year race, in terms of if I have someone who I would pick for rookie of the year right now, I think I'm leaning a little bit more Chet. I don't remember what my pick was at the beginning of the season. I did that with my man Don, Dan on the Dodcast a couple weeks ago in the beginning of the season. I want to say I picked Wemby because of the freedom that he was going to have and the defensive impact that he was going to have. But Chet is looking like the nod right now to me because he's contributing to winning. And I think that goes a long way or will go a long way in voters' minds because his numbers are going to look better. His percentages are going to look better. He's leading to winning. The Oklahoma City Thunder are likely going to be a playoff team. I think the Spurs have a longer way to go in their rebuild because in OKC's place, in the Thunder's case, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was their first building block piece. And then you added onto it with guys like Giddey, J-Dub, now Chet. In the Spurs case, while yes, I do like Devin Vassell, I like Jeremy Shohan, I like the pieces that they have there. But to me, their first real building block piece that could be, okay, this guy is our future, is Victor Wembanyama. So both of these teams, while I don't even want to call OKC a rebuilding team anymore, to be completely honest with you, while both of these teams are, I'll say it in quotes, rebuilding, the Thunder are towards the tail end of their rebuild phase and are now entering into the, okay, we need to make moves to continue to be good and potentially a couple years down the road try to win a championship, realizing we have a really talented young team. The Spurs are still very, very, very much in the beginning of the rebuilding process. And I think it's just going to take a little longer for them and Victor to at least look as to what we look as good as what we expect them to look. Oof. Eagles down 10. I want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to the Thunder. Josh Giddey, some very crazy and I'll get crazy is the only word I can think of. Josh Giddey was recently some allegations are put up against him. He allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a underage girl. It's pretty much is all I'm going to say about the situation right now until we have some more information. I'm going to trust that the NBA and the authorities at B, whether that be the police, the court systems, whatever, come to the bottom of this and that the proper punishment, if necessary, is given out and that the truth just come out of whatever this craziness is. Josh Giddey did play, I want to say this past Friday for the Thunder. It was kind of weird because he got this crazy big standing ovation from the crowd when he was introduced during starting lineups. Some people are making a conversation about the crowd's reaction to him being introduced to starting lineups, but he also is one of their starting guards, and he always gets a big reaction during their starting lineups. So I'm just waiting for more information on that. But that is definitely the elephant in the room when it comes to Oklahoma City Thunder. But outside of that, the Thunder look really, really good, and I'm enjoying watching Thunder basketball.